What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? It is Rexsi here. Welcome to another kind of different video today. I'm going to be going over Aladdin a little bit. I thought I would explain some things about him. I had someone in my chat, Roy Game, who asked me if I could do a video on Aladdin because I got him Radiant and everything, and he is my favorite god on all of Smite 2. Honestly, I hate to admit it, but he is competing with Uller. In terms of the fun factor, it could be because he's new and all this new engine, but literally couldn't stop playing this character. I'm sad that I'm not playing him as much anymore because I have other characters, you know, that I'm working on getting 10th link Mordred and all that. But I thought I would go over my experience with the character and maybe give some tips and then play a game and showcase it while I'm going about it. And if you don't understand Aladdin, I can explain the kit pretty quickly to you and show you some examples of how they would work in real scenarios, etc, etc. So, number one, we'll go over the abilities very quickly. If you have not played Smite 2, it could be a little overwhelming. He was very confusing and annoying to play against before I knew how he works, but now that I know how he works, he's not as annoying. So, we'll start off with the passive. So you have 3 wishes that you can use, and it goes into your active ability slot, which you can sell at any point to replace with an item, but it does give a passive where you gain 2% of all stats from items with it. So as you level up, it is actually pretty decent, but I don't think it's worth in Duel, if you're playing Duel. I'd have to do some testing, but I've done DPS testing without the lamp, so I know the highest amount of DPS you can get. PBM also tweeted about this yesterday, about most magical characters, or certain types of characters, all benefiting more off of physical builds. So, his passive is he gets 3 wishes. The first wish right here is it will give you 100 gold, or 250 gold, and an extra 100 more gold on god kills and assists. Not incredibly useful in Duel. You can start the game and then just pop this whenever you want, or if you're trying to finish an item, I usually do it and then buy a chalice so I can afford it. Not insanely useful. Now, you can only do 1 of each wish, by the way. There's no, you can wish the same thing 3 times. That doesn't work. You get 1 of each of these. So you have 1, 2, 3. You can use them whenever you want. Second one revives you, and when you're revived, you get absurd movement speed. So you'll get revived immediately. You just click on your active thing. Click 2 when you die, boom, and you're back. The third one, and the most useful one, in my opinion, is you reset every single cooldown on your abilities. Do I have reduced cooldown on? Off, okay. So, if I was to do this, use all my abilities, including the ultimate, the moment you could be in the middle of a fight, boom, boom. And you get 2 more charges on your passive. We'll go over the passive here in a moment, but it gives your, you know, gives you all your abilities back and you can use them once again. So, let's go over the abilities. The passive, so that's the 3 wishes, is auto attack progression. They don't explain it, but it's 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. And the 3 auto attacks are actually AoE, so they will hit multiple targets. So usually, like, during my progression, I'll be 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the last one does the most out of the 3 swipes, does 38. So it's 1, 1. Yeah, so it's just, think of it like 1, 1, and then 3 swipes. Boom, boom, boom. Third one does the most out of the swipes, and they're all AoE. His passive is, it's called Genie's Strength. So every 15 seconds, you see these little blue eyes here. Every time you use an ability. So for example, we'll start with the 1. You can click it, you can charge it as much as you want, and it will hit stuff. But each ability, all 3 of your abilities have an extra, where you can call that back, and it deals damage on the way back as well. It takes 15 seconds to come back. Every single one of your abilities have a different variation of this. Now, quick tip with the 1. It is an auto attack reset, so yes, if you're about to hit someone, you have Conduit Gem, for example, you're from a distance, boom. You can shoot it, and like insta-clear wave, or just deal maximum damage if there's the target is far away at 1. And it does have a distance range, but it's very far. But if someone's very close to you, and you can lock, and they're CC'd or locked in place, you can go boom, boom, and when you recall, it's going to do a little bit more damage. So, if we look at this, so let's look at it fully charged. So that does 432, right? Now, if we... Come on. If we just... Yeah, it does like a little bit more damage, right? So, the thing about that is that if you combine it with an auto attack answer like this, the autos come out very quickly. You see how fast it is? Almost every character in the game has this now, where you can instantly click with different abilities. So it's just an instant amount of damage. And when they come back, they deal a little bit more, but it's not as precise. So if someone's at a distance, like max range, typically you just want to do that. Wait for them to like move a certain way, if you want to recall it. So that's that. 2 is also an auto attack cancel, where pretty much everything is now, where if you can instantly hit into them. Now the genie ability, it's just a little dash. It slams down. Now you can use abilities while you do this as well. So probably my favorite one that I use the most often, but you can use your abilities while you have the genie active. And it just slams down. And yeah, it's just a lot of punching, and then you just use your cooldowns during it. The 3 is definitely craziest ability, where you can run along the walls and jump. It's one of my favorite abilities in all of Smite 2. Boop. You just jump around. The enhanced version of this ability is a knock-up that deals more damage. So, I don't use this one as much as the others, just because it's a little more situational. But holding them in place and hitting the knock-up into, for example, into that 2, which also, with the 2, you don't have to go all the way. You can cancel it early. So what I like to do, say I'm fighting a target right here, right? Is I cancel it and then immediately call out the genie. And you'll stutter, I find you'll stutter a lot and not use auto attacks immediately after, because it took me a long time to get used to, oh, I can do things during this, because I'm so focused on making sure the genie hits where it needs to hit. But you don't, literally just, as long as you're staring at the person, yeah, you can get that instant off. But yeah, if you wanted to like, that kind of thing. So that's all the abilities, that's the enhanced versions of them. The ultimate itself, what it's going to do, there's a lot of shit to read here, but to summarize it pretty quickly, you're going to completely reset your cooldowns when you go in it. You gained added bonuses, increased cooldowns, all that shit, and it's going to do the opposite to the enemy. So at max level, it is going to heal the enemy only to 40%. So let's say ultimate's 1 HP, it's usually not a good idea, unless you're 1 HP, because then you have the advantage of the additional protections, cooldowns, all of that, as well as the reset cooldowns. But you get 60% as opposed to their 40%. Very useful if you're in like a sticky spot. But again, you've seen some of my YouTube shorts, sometimes the Aladdins will screw themselves and level you up. Like, or get your health back and all that shit, which can screw you. But there's some other little quick tips with the genie. So when you go into the genie, it resets your charges. So, this is a little cool tech for you. If you're to use your 2, and then immediately ults, you can get 2 genies, which is fucking really strong. It's one of my favorite things. I love doing that shit. Like, I'll make sure... So try and use all your cooldowns before you ult. Usually, unless you're in a sticky spot, then ult to get out, but as long you have like no abilities up, boom, you know, you used everything, then they're back. And you can use this to buy a lot of time as well if you're in a sticky spot. You can run along the walls for longer. If you're like worried about a certain thing, wait for someone to use an ability if they're gonna ult immediately. When you first go into an ultimate, you gotta be careful with how far you dash, because the first thing people think you're gonna do is dash when you go in. So it can be hard to lock them into place. So I usually give people a second to react and see what they're gonna do, because if you try 2 from max range, like when you spawn in, it can be pretty easy to dodge. So you have a number of options, but typically, because I like the double fisting, you know, you want to get close to them. So the combo would be like something like this. Like that. And then I would recall it, depending. And then keep your distance until your cooldowns are starting to come back up. Work around with Life Binder, etc, etc. And that's the gist of his kit. I know it seems pretty complicated, it took me a little while to get used to it as well. Over builds, now with Aladdin, I'll go over what works best in him. I mainly play him in Duel. I played him quite a bit in Joust as well. He's very good. He is a very strong character. In terms of his tier, he would be... Where I put him on the tier list is pretty right. He loses to ADCs late game-ish, in my opinion, based on my experience with him and the tons of games that I played. A good high-level ADC can destroy Aladdin if they get late game and stuff, but Aladdin has so much pressure, and I know that some people, like so many people, think that he's overtuned, and he was, and still probably is a little bit. But there is also the thing of people not understanding exactly how his kit works, because it's intimidating and there's a lot going on with it. There's a lot of new stuff to learn in Smite 2, in general, with strength and intelligence, as well as me dealing magical damage as opposed to intelligent damage, yada yada. But he's fucking strong as shit. But there is also the fact that a lot of people don't understand it. So I thought I would upload this video, maybe go over a little bit. But for builds, what works really well on Aladdin is a strength-based build. Strength-based builds win 90% of the time. I used to build a magical, and then did a ton of damage testing, and then I was talking with another top Aladdin. Like literally just min-maxing how much DPS you get based on certain things. And like, I'll just build it really quickly. So, Lifebinder is extremely useful overall as most mages. I don't know if it's like completely meta in Conquest or anything, but another tip, boom, you can, as long as you like double click and then drag, you can move your slotted items, which is very nice because I hate having my Lifebinder on the opposite one as opposed to having your stupid wishes just... But yeah. So, consistently having that and using that and getting used to using it, active items in general, is a big thing that you need to get used to. Soul Gem is also one of his best items. That will be the last magical item that we buy. Soul Gem was bugged on Aladdin. It's still very good. It's one of the strongest mage items in the game. But it used to proc twice, which it was not supposed to. I don't know if they fixed that. I would assume so. But then, for the builds, I guess Totem. Totem would be our... I guess we have 3 int-ish items, but Totem's so good because it procs off of each part of the one, I'm pretty sure, or at least both parts of it, so you get 2 procs. As well as, you know, when the genie's smacking, so... Totem is fucking ridiculous on this character. And then you'd want to go into something like Crusher. Actually, in Duel, this would be more of a Joust type build, but in Duel... Instead of Soul Gem, you go your defense item. Lifebinder's just OP in Duel. Once Lifebinder's nerfed, I would assume it would be switched. You go Soul Eater first, and Soul Gem, then your defense. Totem, Crusher, Heartseeker, Titans. And you can also switch out if you want Soul Gem, because it's not completely necessary. Very good item, but you can switch it out for something like Hydras. And you're gonna get Hydras procs that go off as well. But yeah, strength-based builds, for the most part, are just overall the best. I could probably do that faster, couldn't I? Hold on. Oops, sorry. There's a bug with Aladdin right now. If you do it too quickly, it'll cancel the animation. Like that, see? Ah, I did it again. If you auto-cancel too quickly like me, I have a habit of doing that. But yeah, you get the Hydras procs in for each of those, because the one reset is so fast. Like, look. It's so quick. And then another auto attack instantly after that. So you could just literally... Very quick. So yeah, that's overall the builds. You can switch some things out. Highly recommend items like Heartseeker Titans. Crush is also very good. High pen builds combined with the intense pen of Totem. Damn near true damage on a lot of things. But yeah, alright, we're gonna play one game, and I will show you it in action, I guess. Just so if you're curious and you want to see, I'll try and explain my thought process as we go along as well. It's a bit of an impromptu video idea. I thought it'd be fun, because a lot of people don't understand Aladdin as much, and if you would like to see more character in-depth guides, or like tips and tricks, let me know down below. I've been thinking of doing one about Duel as well, going over the basics, the do's and don'ts, what characters are good, that kind of thing. But I have lots of friends that are confused on how Aladdin works and everything, so thought maybe I'd just make a little video on it and go over some things. Aladdin is so much fun though, man. I'll go over some more tips when we get into the game, because I feel like some people are just gonna skip this part, so don't want people to miss out. Gotta also remind myself so I don't forget. When using the third wish, typically in Duel, it's worth using early on to secure first blood most of the time. But you gotta remember, you can't reset the ult because you don't have it yet, so you gotta go up and down with the value and when it's worth to revive yourself based on your position, because you're very, very close to, or if like you're very close to where you died, you can get up there extremely quickly. And you want to use that to your advantage, especially in like Conquest or Joust, when, you know, the enemy team's on FG or something like that, and you die, you're just immediately back into the fight. When playing against Aladdin, it is important to listen to his wishes too. Because if you hear someone waste like the cooldown one, then it's like, that's a dub. You take that, that's a fat dub. I don't have a crazy amount of kills or anything on Aladdin compared to someone like Uller. Mainly because I only really played him in Duel? Mostly Duel. But these are all the stats that you can get. This is his Radiant skin. That Aladdin fucking freaks me out though, I will say. Mainly because he doesn't ever blink, so I don't know what kind of horrors he's seen. The Radiant's pretty cool. In terms of Radiant skins, it's above average. Not my favorite. Good, but not my favorite. Overall clean though. Love the Radiant skins in general. My favorite Radiant skins would be Thanatos, Mordred, or Uller's probably. Typically characters with armor I find look the best. Q, if you could please pop, that would just be lovely. I'm just stalling for time at this point, I apologize. This is kind of cool, it's like a little shine. Info on Ramla's kit. Not that I know of, nothing public yet. Hell yeah, there we go. Did they show Achilles today? Because I really want to do a video on Achilles. Alright, well, we're gonna get one game in here. As Aladdin, to show him off, I'll go over my build and choices as we go along.
Aladdin. Aladdin. Aladdin.
Aladdin! I hope you guys are doing fantastic today. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave me a like. Leave a comment for the algorithm, I'd appreciate that. Yeah, as you can see, staring at this motherfucker's blank face every time I Q has been haunting. Kinda wish we had a tank your team. Fun. I like combat blink for the movement on Aladdin as well. And when you make the wish, you get your actives back as well, so. Raya! God, am I specifically set up for on Smite 2? Probably. I want Huyi. I want Rama. Maybe Hell at some point. I don't even know if she's on like the data mine list or anything. Okay. I feel like Huyi's gonna be broken So yeah, when starting out, you do have the option to make a wish here, if you want to. I personally don't. You can go Soul Gem or Life Binder, either one. I don't really have a jungle build for you. You'd have to go and, you know.
You're so sexy.
Thank you. Let's try the wish here, but get a little bit of sustain early. Why not? Good to get at least a couple mana potions early too, because Aladdin is a fucking mana whore. Big old mana slut. You go Lifebinder or Soul Eater to start. Soul Gem. Keep mixing those up. So you always gotta want to pay attention to where you left your one and use it to your advantage on the return. Especially with something like Conduit. Conduit is good. Blue Stun is better. So yeah, wait till we're in range and then activate. You can run on pretty much anything. So right now I could wish for cooldowns back. If I wanted to. I'd probably kill a lot of them. He got out of range there, unfortunately, too. We're gonna use the knock-up here. Into that to get a second kill. So yeah, when you have, like, a situation like that, the knock-up. When you're running, that's a good time to use the... Oh! Throwing your one behind you, and then if someone's right behind you, just re-procking it. Very useful. It's like a lot of my heart and soul to not make the wish right there for my cooldowns to be back. Trust me. But yeah, you have quite a bit of time before you are forced to use your 2 or 1. See, I could have wished right there and then just use my 1 again and got a free kill. Aladdin's also extremely good at diving. Strategy I like to do is the knock up into the 2 away. Like that, and then I'm just immediately out of range. And can reset, just like that. And go for a long range ult. So that's usually the combo. Into the knockup onto Loki as well. We're gonna use our wish here. Recall that. And we have ult when we come back out too. It's about to run out though. Fortunately, the recall wasn't enough. Well. Get him! Woo! That's all I got, bro. I got nothing, dude. Good luck. There we go. Just like that. That was a bit of a risky ult that I went on Uller there, but it's fine. Usually go totem. You can go Soul Gem instead of Hydras as well. I kind of like the Hydras late game. Soul Gem's better at this point. You need totem though, personally. Oh, and see, just like that, like it throws me off. I like having a lamp in like the last slot. So with Duel with your defense item, you would replace Hydras with whatever, like Screeching Gargoyle. Aladdin also has quite a few visual bugs. His one will hit where it doesn't seem like it would. Like people that are kind of out of range. Sometimes if you double tap 3 too quickly. And sometimes if you just jump in and kill yourself, it's not as worth it. But here, I'll show. So worth. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. I love these guys. But I'll show off the revive. But yeah, we come back. We're super fucking fast. Like, we're just back in the fight immediately, essentially. So yeah, you want to get that off quick. Yeah, I tend to dive a lot like that. That was definitely too deep of a dive, but you can just do the 3 knock up into the 2 like that and typically get out. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. A little faster, almost got that. Also enough for totem here too. Yeah, you can always just look away, refire the 1. You gotta pay close attention to your 1 and 2 as well, because it can be easy to accidentally refire them. Because when you have the refire, you know, it's gonna show up and blink, but it's easy to miss. See, I'm clearing waves. Typically worth to just charge it all the way up. But you can even, I'll show you something. You can go like that, and it still does the extra DPS by a little bit. Got his ass. Thanks, Shaitan. Yeah, just doing this for some people that might not understand Aladdin as much. Always remember to reposition yourself appropriately. For the return of the 1. Yeah, you can technically do that, and it does more damage, but you gotta remember that you have to hit every 1 on the return, right? So it can be iffy depending on... what you're trying to do. Now, again, to reiterate, I think Soul Gem is really good here. You could also go with that. Like, I go back and forth every single time. It depends how I feel, how much sustain I need. If they have anti-heal. I ain't risking Loki ult. We're getting the fuck out of there. I ain't dying to a goddamn level 6 Loki. To get at a base, you run a little faster. You have crazy mobility, but you run a little bit faster. Like by the time you spit with your 3, I'm pretty sure. So go like max range against the wall, ride the wall the entire time. You can use it to get over any obstacle pretty much. You can even jump on things like Ymir's wall, Thor's wall, Odin cage probably. On her pillar looks fucking hilarious because you just circle it like a madman. Any wall or structure works. Oh. Ooh, a what? He's out of range. But yeah, I sometimes switch out Lifebinder for Soul Gem too. There's a decent amount of variety, but yeah, like see that didn't look like it hit him. So the one is definitely a little forgiving. And that's like the general build, not including counter building stuff. Your one can almost entirely clear wave. Like if we really needed Divine, we could go that instead of Crusher. It's personal preference, obviously. So I can reposition myself and recall it whenever. This also helps if you're playing against Aladdin and want some.
Attack the fire giant.
I'm tired of this. I don't think I could solo this though. And I have 2k gold. This is quite bold. I think we waited a little too long to do this. Not too sure why they didn't just teleport, but... Stay on fire, boys. Okay, I mean they got fire, since I don't have it and I have 3k gold. Blink. Oh, that's big! Oh, damn! Combo breaker! Ooh. Team cleaned house there. Fuck yeah. And there we go. Couldn't quite show you late game, but for the rest of the builds, you go high. I was gonna go Hydra's, Heartseeker Titans.
Victory.
You can swap a light banners for Soul Gem, boost them for Sands of Time or Conduit. It's up to you. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy though, or learned something. If not, I hope you enjoyed regardless. If you have any suggestions on other things you'd like me to do in terms of guides or advice on characters, duel advice, anything like that, let me know in the comments. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Have any suggestions, you know where to leave them, and I will see you next time, guys. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.